Let's talk about the ultimate fragrance buying guide for 2020. So we are at the end of 2020. There's a couple of days left for the holidays, and this is the ultimate buying list. This is based off of my collection, and it's basically 6 categories of fragrances that hopefully will help you in buying a fragrance for that special person. Now, all men are equal only in the graveyard, so there's different categories for different types of people. Hopefully you'll be able to relate to one of them. First type of fragrance is the sexy, addictive, come to me fragrance. Pure Malt. Pure Malt is the unrivaled king of sexiness. It's been here forever, and I've put a significant dent into this fragrance. What you get from Pure Malt is boozy and sexiness in a bottle. Number 2 is Dolce & Gabbana's The One EDP. And this fragrance here is literally tobacco, cedar, and amber. It is true and tested, unrivaled. You don't need to think twice. If you're looking for a sexy fragrance, this should be in your top picks. The third fragrance in the sexy category has been here forever, and by far it is on most people's list for a very good reason, because it does garner compliments, it does give you that confidence level, it does everything that you need it to do, and that is Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme. A very sexy fragrance, garners compliments, does everything you need it to, 3-4 sprays and you're good to go. I wanted to add something in each of these categories which you usually don't find in every list. And the fragrance that is unique in this category is St. Dupond's Perfect Tobacco. What do you get from this fragrance? Cinnamon, tobacco, vanilla, and just a pinch of oud. This is really an underrated fragrance, and if you're wearing this, quite honestly, no one else will be wearing this in the room. A lot of people might be wearing The One or La Nuit de l'Homme, but you can be 99% sure people will not be wearing Perfect Tobacco by St. Dupond. On to the next category, and that's the manly man fragrance. This is for the lumberjack, the guy who's dressed in plaid, the guy who likes to be outdoors, and who kind of is outside the box. You don't want to get him something conventional, you don't want to get him something that everyone else is wearing, so this is the category for that type of person. The first on our list is Gucci Guilty's Absolute. So what do you get from this fragrance? You get some leather, cypress, and some woody notes. This is really a polarizing scent. Not everyone will be able to pull this off. This is definitely not for everyone. But if you want to stand out in the room, this is the fragrance to go to. Okay, so the next fragrance is a niche smelling fragrance which is bottled at a designer price. And this fragrance here, honestly, is such a great combination. It has leafy green notes in the opening, and then it dries down into a very, very, very dark leather. And that fragrance is Lattafa's Ana Al-Abyad leather. You get an opening of green and you get some leather, and that's basically it. So it's very much a leather green fragrance. Okay, so this category would not have been complete without this next fragrance. It is true and tested. It has been here since 1988 for a very good reason. And it is, if I had a signature scent, this would be amongst it. This is none other than Dior's Fahrenheit. Dior's Fahrenheit is petroleum, violet. A lot of people say they have a gasoline note in this, they smell a gasoline note. A lot of people say that they smell a gasoline note in this fragrance. And this is a very, very unique fragrance for that very reason. Okay, so this is the fragrance that would be the uncommon fragrance in everybody else's list. Now this fragrance here, this is what I imagine if you were to go into space and you would go into a black hole. And this is what the black hole would smell like. And this is Montal's Dark Oud. So this is the older bottle, but you can find it and it smells exactly the same. So Montal's dark oud is literally 2 notes of sandalwood and oud. And that's it. It's a very linear fragrance, but no one else will be wearing dark oud besides you. Okay, last fragrance in this category is for the guy that really likes to be outdoors. Smells like you've woken up on a great morning, the breeze is out there, and you are walking out into a forest. You are surrounded by cedar trees. This is Bentley for Men Absolute. What an amazing fragrance. This is such an incredible fragrance. This is a cedar-centric fragrance. The guy needs to like to smell like woods, but if they do, this is the perfect fragrance for that individual. If you're enjoying this content, a sub would be amazing. I wanted to add the next category, which is the teenager category. So maybe you don't have a huge budget, you don't want to buy something expensive, some inexpensive fragrances that smell amazing. There are 2 suggestions which around $50 to $60 you could probably pick up both of these fragrances. These fragrances are they're not too serious, they have amazing performance, they smell great, they get compliments, they do everything that you really need them to do. The first fragrance has tobacco, amber, a little bit of cinnamon, and gets you tons of compliments whenever you wear this. And that fragrance is Calvin Klein's Shock. It garners lots of compliments and it does exactly what you need it to do, and it's about $20 to $30. Alright, and this next fragrance is really just pleases everyone. It has a little bit of apples, a little bit of musk, and a little bit of woods. It's a perfect combination, and this is Azzaro Chrome's Legend. This is very airy, it's very bright, it lasts the entire day, and it's extremely inexpensive. You could pick this up around $15 to $20, and it's a great gift if you need one. The next category is for the Wall Street, Bay Street, office setting type of guy. This is the guy that usually is in an office setting, and you don't want to wear something which is too loud or offensive or which is really outside the box. Right? So these fragrances, even though they smell very unique, they won't offend anyone, and they usually smell very clean and approachable. So this first fragrance is iris, tonka bean, and a little bit of leather as a backbone. And that fragrance is Prada L'Homme Intense. This is really the darker brother of Prada L'Homme. It's very clean, very professional. This is what you wear when you want to close the deal and you want to get the job done. This next fragrance smells fresh, smells clean. It has everything that you need to wear when you're at an office, and that is Montblanc's Individuel. So this is the dark horse. It's the unique fragrance of this category, and this is Armani Eau de Nuit. So what do you get from this fragrance is a lot of powdery notes, iris, and tonka bean. This is an incredible fragrance, and this is what I would call a tuxedo in a bottle. The next category is really the Netflix and chill category. So this is like you're laid back, you're in a cottage, or you're in a cabin, and you just want to be in a very comfortable, warm, cuddly scenario. These are the fragrances that I would recommend. First fragrance is L'Homme Idéal. Any one of these will do. This is the Eau de Toilette L'Homme Idéal. This smells like almonds, vanilla, a little bit of woods, very cuddly, very nice. Next fragrance is the undisputed Christmas tree in a bottle, and that is Burberry's London. Cinnamon, tobacco, port wine, and a little bit of leather. This is really the holidays in a bottle. Okay, odd man out for this category is 1821 Man-Made Sweet Tobacco. Right, honey, woods, a little bit of leather, and a little bit of vanilla. An incredible fragrance. I believe this is the only fragrance that company has launched, but what a fragrance. If you can get your hands on this, it's an incredible fragrance. Okay, and the final category is the most versatile fragrance. So sometimes, you go to a store and there's lots of fragrances out there. These are your safe buys. These are true and tested fragrances, fragrances that cannot steer you wrong, fragrances that have been in the industry for quite a bit of time, and people generally just gravitate towards them. These fragrances are generally an amazing blend of freshness, of spices, of woods, and they all come together and they produce an incredible fragrance. And that's why this formula works, and that's why most houses will have one of these type of fragrances in their arsenal. The first fragrance I would recommend if you are looking to buy a gift for someone who might be a little bit younger, between the ages of 15, 16, all the way to their 30s. And that is Dior's Sauvage. Ambroxan, woods, spices, an incredible fragrance. Everyone gravitates towards this fragrance. It gets lots of compliments. Very safe, very versatile. If you're looking to buy something for someone who's a little bit older, who's a little bit more mature, maybe they're not in school anymore, they've started their job, you can get something like Bleu de Chanel. This is the original EDT. You can try the EDP or the Parfum version. Most places that are carrying this will carry all three. Try it and see which one suits you better, but either one of those will be a perfect gift for somebody. Okay, and last fragrance on the list. If you don't know which fragrance to get, if you are confused, if you are overwhelmed, you have analysis paralysis, and you're like, this is too many, there are too many fragrances out there. What fragrance do I get? This is the fragrance that I would recommend. This is the fragrance that you don't need to think about. Everyone gets compliments from this fragrance. You can wear it the entire year, 12 months around. It's that versatile, and that is Eccentric Molecules Molecule 01. This is the anti-perfume. This is the fragrance that doesn't smell like a fragrance. This is the fragrance that when I've worn it, multiple people have smelled different things, but all of them have loved this fragrance. It's one note. It's ISO E Super. It smells like cedar, but you can buy this blind and no one is ever going to complain. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. You can always unsubscribe later, and I'll catch you on the next one.